What's up, y'all? Today we will be reacting to Mr. Phillip Scott. He's a very crazy individual. So, yeah, let's get into it.
Well, tonight on the podcast, ladies and gentlemen, more and more people just cannot understand why more black men voted for Trump in this election. They just thought that they just had the handle on black men. Black men are going to just follow the women, like what Tiffany Cross had told us a few years ago. But the USA Today had put up an article talking about this, so let's go ahead and look at it. It says Trump gains among black men, leaving many asking what went wrong. Oh man, hey, so let's go ahead and look at it. Say Maurice Meyer, it said didn't bother showing up to the polls. So this brother decided to say he's a Pittsburgh native who holds down a day job as a dishwasher at an Italian restaurant in Market Square, pursues entrepreneurial endeavors such as his TikTok channel, as they were nearly 10,000 followers. It said nothing in the presidential election affect his day-to-day life, he said. The 44-year-old black man leaned toward voting for Vice President Kamala Harris based on concerns conveyed by his mother, but he felt the Democratic nominee had never tried to earn his vote. He said, I didn't vote at all. I just didn't see the need. So this brother decided to sit it out. And I told y'all there were black people that sat it out. For many black men who are trying to figure out what went wrong and how they can keep it from happening again, which clearly is not the black men that voted for Trump. And say to win, many said candidates need to talk and say from the start about policies, which is true. Many people have said that policies, and positions that are important to black voters, especially.
But that's what I'm saying is that people fail to realize is that Kamala Harris was the only candidate in this election that actually put forward any type of policy. And Phillip Scott himself criticized that same policy that was specifically put out for black and minority voters to benefit them. He criticized that same policy, but Donald Trump has nothing of the sort. He has a concept of a plan when it comes to healthcare and stuff like that. So I don't want to hear it when you say is that, oh, I want to hear about policies. I want to hear what you're going to do and stuff like that. When you don't even try to even pull that up and introduce that bill or that proposal to your followers or your subscribers. You claim to be for the black people, but you're clearly biased towards the Conservative Party and the Republican Party. And it's sad, honestly.
Men, glad they say that, especially men, because black men have been overlooked so much, okay? He said they must persuade and mobilize black communities around those issues, said Khalil Thompson, a political strategist and veteran of Barack Obama's president's campaign. He said, I believe that wasn't a strategy that was adhered to from either side, not just from Democrats, from either side. Okay, now they said that. Now let me get to this. Black voters have long been the Democrat Party's most loyal voting bloc, often catapulting Democrats to victory. That includes black men who have been the second highest bloc of progressive voters for decades behind black women. Say while Trump didn't win a majority of black votes or Latinos, he did make inroads. He won support from about 13% of black voters nationally and 45% of Latino voters. They say in 2020, Trump won, let's say, of black voters and 32% of Latinos. But let me say something about this before I keep going, ladies and gentlemen. If you break it down state by state, it is much higher, right? Because in my state of Texas, 31% of black men voted for Trump. 31%. In Pennsylvania, black men, 26%. For Trump, right? So that's what they're not doing. They're not breaking. See, the Democrats.
See, I'm not even going to take this guy's for his word. I'm going to actually pull up the real information and pull it up in the video here for you guys to see in real time, because this guy really doesn't pull up the real numbers or anything. He's just a Republican conservative shield, as he would like to say. So yeah, let's continue with this video.
What they're trying to do in their media is hold that narrative. Well, black men didn't really vote for Trump. Don't lie to yourself. You're not gonna be able to fix your party by lying to yourself. Y'all lied here, lied there, lie. You cannot do nothing without the truth. Okay, knowing the truth shall set you free. Once again, it's not the truth, but knowing the truth. And you Democrats don't want to know the truth. The fact is, if you demonize men, black men definitely in particular, you call us misogynist, you call us we don't want to see a woman this, and just talking crap on black men. Black men have been the only men in society, they have allowed women to lead our households. Other groups of men would dare let no woman lead no household. So black men don't have no problem with women leading in our community. We don't, okay? But the disrespect was too much.
Hold up. Now, you and your same news channel criticize the same black community for allowing the black woman to be the leader in the community. So you can't talk up the same situation that you talk down on. Like, come on now. Let's be real here. And on another situation here, the Democratic Party is not attacking black men and it's not demonizing black men in any sense of the meaning. Who has no idea what he's talking about. But yeah, let's continue with this video.
In this campaign. And none of y'all are writing articles about the disrespect of black men. You can't disrespect black men and expect them to show up. No, I'm not showing up for you at all. I didn't vote for her.
I would love for him to explain how black men were how black men were disrespected by Kamala Harris. I would love for him to explain that for me. He's making it seem like we were just offended by some simple stuff. I haven't seen anything to offend me when it comes to how the campaign was run or anything like that. Now I understand that we have to bring context into the situation, right? So we have to understand that Kamala Harris had just a few months to run a presidential campaign. So what she did and what she had to do was pretty much put on to her by other people, understandably. And she did, at the end of the day, had the right to say yes or no to it. But she did what she did, and she ran her campaign. Apparently it didn't click. She lost. That's fine. I feel like, me personally, I feel like anybody that was in the White House at this point in time with the economy the way it is right now, I mean, not the economy, but the way the public views the economy right now, I felt like anybody that's in power right now would have lost. So that's just me though.
I'm telling you why I didn't vote for her. The economy. I didn't vote for her because of geopolitical issues, these wars. I didn't vote for her because she talked about the unintended gains tax she wants to put on people, right? Her wanting to raise taxes on businesses and everybody else. No.
Hold on now. You have no understanding of what her policies is then, because you haven't really even looked it up. Have you ever actually pulled up her policies or what she's proposing live on to your subscribers? Have you done that? Like, have you actually gave it a real critical view and given Trump's policies and his proposals a critical review and see who he's putting into cabinets and see who he's putting into office? He's putting people that's a part of Project 2025 into power in America, but you said that they have nothing to do with each other. You get what I'm saying? So no, you're doing your subscribers, you're doing your followers a disservice. You're being irresponsible. You're basically a fraud at this point, man. And it's sad.
No. Because the only way that I can pay the people that work with us on our platform is saving money, and especially on taxes.
Yes.
You understand?
Yeah.
I can't save money.
And that's what I'm saying. You're supposed to be a man of family values and stuff. Kamala was the only candidate that was proposing giving families a tax break when they have a child. You get what I'm saying? Trump wasn't talking about that, but you completely ignored that fact. But you were gonna sit there and look dumb and talk out of your ass basically about some stupid stuff that you see the Democrat Party all the way in California might be motherfucking proposing in the California legislature. But you won't talk about the actual policies on Kamala versus Trump. You get what I'm saying? You won't be fair or unbiased in that way. You're so focused on attacking the Democratic Party that you're doing a disservice to the people that follow you, bro. And that's dangerous. You get what I'm saying? That's dangerous because you don't really understand what that means. You're peddling false information to them. You're not giving them the full story. You're not giving them the full context. You're not understanding what the political landscape even looks like or how it even operates. So you're just sitting there talking out of your ass and saying stupid stuff like what you saying now, that you don't understand that the economy is actually in a better position than it was when Trump left office. When Trump left office, he left a large deficit from overspending. He left us in shambles from COVID, and we were in recovery mode and trying to avoid a recession at that point. Biden came in and saved us from a recession. We are out of the recovery. We've recovered better than any other nation on this planet, but you won't recognize that, and it's crazy.
Money on taxes. then it's hurt. Listen, everybody who's entrepreneurs have been hurting this year. And even if you're not an entrepreneur, if you had a job, you're hurting. Why would I go vote for 4 more years of that? Why?
Because black unemployment is at its lowest right now than it's ever been. Black wage growth is at its highest than it's ever been right now. Yes, inflation is high. We all recognize that inflation is high. It was going to be high because one, Trump overspent. Biden had to come in spending because Trump overspent. He had to come in spending to recover the economy and make sure that we didn't fall into a recession. And once we did come out of this recession, it was pretty much a bounce back effect. And I will be pulling up graphs and showing y'all how everything went. I have no problem pulling up the receipts. This guy does because he has no idea what he's talking about.
Why? Yeah, they'll be stupid. So hell no, I didn't vote for her. Nope. I voted for my pocketbook. It's just that simple.
You
Let's say
voted
for months,
against
Trump and
your
his allies
pocketbook.
pinned part of their strategy of peeling men of color away from the Democrat coalition. The campaign really chipped at the black vote, for instance, with the messages of discontent about the economy, illegal immigration, and culture war issues. And Trump's team dispatched high-profile surrogates at fast food restaurants, churches, and barbershops in predominantly African-American communities, carrying similar messages. They say white people being racist is not a big issue for me. Former Detroit Mayor Kwame Kilpatrick, whose prison sentence for corruption charges was commuted by Trump. He said, my life doesn't change because somebody white says something racist. It's true. It's true. Like, they can be racist all they want, as long as you don't come to my face with it. And disrespect me, put your hands on me. I don't care what race.
Wait a second. You are out here, bro. You cannot tell me you are out here saying you do not care if your president is racist. Are you serious? This man is out here telling his followers not to care if your president is racist, if your leader is racist. This nigga, I'm sorry, I'm trying to get away from saying the N-word. This black man just said that he does not care if the man that's calling the shots of the best and strongest country in the world is racist, as long as he get money in his pocket. And he doesn't even understand how Trump's policies versus Kamala's policies is better at getting money in his pockets versus Trump's policies. He doesn't understand that Kamala was going to give a tax cut to the people that's within his tax bracket.
He says, look, you can keep that in your rural area. I'm cool. Now let's continue. Say experts warned months ago how a growing pessimism among a segment of black voters, chiefly younger working class men living in urban centers, could bear fruit for the former president. It said 2022 Pew Research Center poll, let's say for instance, found 64% of black Americans said the increased focus on issues of race and racial inequality has not led to improvement of the lives of black people. Another 51% of black Americans said they believed racism would worsen over their lifetimes. Let's say according to a 2023 Washington Post survey, it says strategy paid off. It says 3 in 10 black men under the age of 45 went for Trump. According to AP Vocast figures, it's almost double what he received 4 years ago. And let me say this. When this person when they talked about the focus on racism, but they never did nothing about it. So they'll get black people going, this racism and discrimination and anti-black and all, they'll get you all hyped about.
So let me get this right real quick. So you're saying that just because you feel like racists are not brave, that you're willing to join the same side as these racist politicians, as these racist leaders. You're willing to have these people above you when it comes to policy, when it comes to healthcare, when it comes to education. You're willing to have racists making these decisions for you just because you hate the Democratic Party so much. You're admitting that the conservatives have racists within their party. You're willing to admit that the Republican side is the side where the racists are, but you're saying that you're willing to take that side because you're not scared of them. It's not fear. It's control at this point. You're completely missing the point, and this is why I say is that you're being irresponsible to your followers. You're being irresponsible to the people that subscribe to your news channel or whoever watch you and all that stuff. You're being irresponsible to them, and you're a fraud and a fake. And I dislike it so much. It's something.
Trust me on that. Democrats, you just played yourself. Now you have to figure out a way to say, hey, you know what? We need to get on this with black men on. Black men want to get they paper, and now you gonna have to compete with the Republicans now about how you gonna put more money in the back pocket of black men. Let's continue. When will Black Men hosted an online forum with dozens of black male canvassers, strategists, and community activists on Wednesday, where many expressed dismay at Trump's return to power, but also expressed sharp criticism toward Democrats. Ambrose Lane, president of Million Man Vote, said the U.S. economy has been robust under Biden. The cost of things that people buy every day remain high to the point where the Harris campaign spoke about stopping the price gouging. He said, so Biden very well could have stopped price gouging during his term before he even passed the reins over the Kamala, but he didn't do that. And so I think that those economic issues played a significant role, that some blame the convergence of racism and sexism nationwide as a handicap against Harris. Now, it had nothing to do with it. And say part of that was brought to the forefront by Obama, who was chastised in October when he suggested some black men aren't feeling the idea of having a woman as the president. Preliminary exit polls show roughly 78% of black men pulled the lever for Harris. It say more than any other group of male voters in the country. So if they really had a problem with it, that many wouldn't have voted for her, right? It said many in the Win with Black Men discussion called out how millions of eligible black male voters in the battleground states sat out this November. I told y'all, a lot of people sat it out, and they're admitting that they sat it out. I say others saw an agenda to motivate those non-voters ahead of the next election. And say it was even suggested to the group that they should lobby the returning Trump administration on certain policy goals, which was a non-starter for some. And say blacks, and say who voted on the red side, voted against their own interests. No, we didn't. No, we didn't. And say Trump has no interest to help black men. And say Mr. Addy, he's not done a thing for black men in his entire 78 years of living. I don't look at another man to do for me. I look at myself and my God. Why would I be looking at Trump to do something for me? You're a whole grown doggone man. Why are you looking at a man to do something for you?
Mess is this? So you're expecting Kamala and the Democrats to do something for black people, but you're not expecting the people that you're telling your subscribers and followers to vote for. You're basically telling them, oh, don't vote for this person. But if you ain't going to vote for him, either don't vote at all or vote for Trump. That's what you literally tell the people that follow you. And you're literally sitting here saying you don't expect Trump to do anything for you. What is this? What even are you supposed to be a serious news channel? Like, are you supposed to be like a serious influencer of people? Like, really, dude? Like, honestly, like, what are you? You know what? I just got triggered. I'm sorry, y'all.
Thing Trump could do for me is make it easier for me to do for myself. That's the only thing he really can do. It says, as far as the gender friction of the black community, many in Wednesday's online meeting praised black women for their role in the election. Holly, a holiday president of Sisters Lead, Sisters Vote, which, among other things, conducts research on black women returning for local and national offices, said black men engage differently than us politically. It said that doesn't mean that they are misaligned from us. Is that Thompson, the Win with Black Men leader, said that he doesn't fault Harris, who entered the race late and didn't have enough time to engage the black voters in the way they needed to be approached. He said there was excitement around her candidacy. He said, but she did have, but did she have the opportunity to really start a conversation with black men as a candidate? She didn't want to do interviews for almost 40 days. He said a misstep, he said, was a heavy focus on new media and engagement with social media influence to deliver a message. He said that may have been a unique approach, but not the one I would have taken. Thompson said he would have knocked on more doors and had more direct conversation with voters. Texting is great because the device is in everybody's hand. He said, but it's not as effective as direct conversation. Looking ahead of the group plans to host a series of regional conversations focused on policy, including with conservative leading black men who have voted for Trump. Okay. So this is the thing. No, she was actually on the right path with doing that, because if you go look at Joe Rogan's interview, Trump got 40 some odd million views on the Joe Rogan interview. He wanted to interview her, but she said, I can only be an hour and it has to be recorded. Well, he does his stuff live. So she messed off an opportunity to go talk to Joe Rogan, and who has a big podcast. You know what I'm saying? And Joe Rogan invited me to go on the podcast and wanted to holler at me for 3 hours. Oh, I'm going, because
you're not a presidential candidate, bro. You're not a presidential candidate. Joe Rogan was very obviously pro-Trump at the point when this campaign was going on. So you can't really say that Kamala would be going into like a positive environment for her politically. Trump pretty much went to every place that was pro-Trump. You get what I'm saying? Fox News, Newsmax. What's that streamer guy called? The stupid one. I forget his name. But yeah, he hit all those guys up because he knew that those guys was already pro-Trump. You can't really sit here and say, "Oh, Kamala should have went to Joe Rogan," when Joe Rogan would have most likely pushed her a lot stronger than he did Trump. He sat there and had like a discussion with Trump and didn't question him on anything. But Kamala walked in there, she would have been questioned pretty hard. It's obvious, and I guarantee that. But you're forgetting that whole point here. You really are. But I digress. Yeah, we got a few more minutes in this video. Let's go and finish this up.
She got a big platform, and I could springboard off of that platform. I mean, you're a dummy not to go on Joe Rogan's platform. It's just that silly. That's just that simple, right? So no, she didn't do wrong by doing that. She just went too late. And the problem is she started off a bunch of softballs, but she did do the right thing on that. But she just did it too late in the game. She should have did that immediately. If she was smart, she would engage black men first, because black women's already supporting her. She should have went to the black men first and say, hey, what do I need? What does black men need? I got to give it to you. And she didn't talk to black men. You give us some plan, and it's the same recycled plan, just putting black men in it. And then talking about minorities and all kind of things.
Hold on now. Don't try to downplay the plan when Trump didn't even have any type of plan, and you talk about she should have went and talked to black men. But if you read that plan, at the top of it, she said that she got that stuff that's in the plan from talking to black men. I don't understand what your angle is or what you're trying to do. Like, are you paid by Russians? Are you paid by the Republican Party? I don't know, but it's definitely seeming like you are definitely approaching things from a specific angle on purpose.
So he couldn't take, you know what I'm saying? And then whatever Trump says, right, wrong, or indifferent, he stands on. He don't flip his opinion. So
I know this triggers conservatives and MAGA Republicans, but so did Hitler. I mean, just because he stands on what he says doesn't mean that what he says and what he plans to do isn't dangerous to the democracy of this country and to everything we stand on. You get what I'm saying? Like, once you put a guy into office that says that he doesn't mind being a dictator for a day or suspending the Constitution or any of that mess, then don't be surprised when he actually makes moves into doing that. You get what I'm saying? But it is what it is. Let me just play the last few seconds.
Democrats, it's a new day. Black men are not playing games with y'all. If y'all don't get y'all act together, then there's going to be a President J.D. Vance in 4 years. Especially if Trump do good and the economy's looking great, you better believe black men going to vote for J.D. Vance when he run for president. Bottom line. So
this man don't know who he talking about or what he's talking about. It's obvious. Let me go ahead and end this video. I appreciate y'all for watching. I'm gonna probably watch a couple more of his videos just because it's good content. It does trigger me a little bit, but I think lighting this dude up, being very critical of what he says, is a good way of highlighting just examples of what I see when it comes to political discourse within the black community. You get what I'm saying? So it's not just him. I see other black men pretty much repeating some of the sentiments that he has. And I think it's a problem because, one, either you're being willfully ignorant, or two, you just don't know exactly what's going on or have a complete understanding of what's going on and how it happens. You get what I'm saying? So I digress, but I'm finna go and wrap this video up. Thank y'all for watching. Don't forget to subscribe and like, and yeah.